Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all shapes, sizes, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I am Adamo. Today, I'll be speaking to you guys about some pretty big news on AC Milan, the front of where they will be trying to make an economic renovation, I guess you could say, with the club. Now, Repubblica has been reporting and have outlined Sino Europe's plan to give Milan this economic boost, as I mentioned. There's a lot of fronts that they will be covering. Some of those being that they will attempt to double the commercial revenue with new sponsorships, which would mean obviously, Milan representing different brands, I guess you could say. And they will be mainly going after the Chinese market, as there is reportedly over 100 million fans, and that will allow Milan to exceed 500 million euros within 5 years of revenue, of course, which is huge for the club, and that would definitely be a massive improvement, if you ask me, especially over, when you look at Berlusconi and what they were sort of going after. There was really no plan going forward and how the club wanted to revamp itself and sort of remake Milan's image, I guess you could say, and kind of shake off this nasty stigma that the club has, that they've rightfully created for themselves. But yes, I do think this is a very, very positive sign. Should it be true? Hopefully it is, because I think this could definitely benefit Milan in the highest of senses. Now, they will have said that they will be hiring some legends back, bringing them into the management. The biggest name that people are talking about is Paolo Maldini. Who else but the legend himself? I mean, he's almost as good as Matteo Flamini, if you ask me. I think he's up there as one of the greats, but let's just leave that aside. We don't need to talk about that right now. Anyways, they will be looking to bring Maldini in and other legends potentially to bring some credibility back to Milan and bring some, I guess you say, personality back to the club, because it's kind of been lacking over the years, especially because Milan have lost that personality as of late. That would mean that Galliani would be leaving permanently, for those of you who are wondering. Obviously, you have the tension between Galliani and Maldini. This move would mean that Galliani, in the future would leave permanently should all these legends come in and fill all these roles. Now, next up, they will attempt to make a 60,000 seat stadium or renovate to San Siro should Inter leave. Now, those are two big things. I think if you renovate to San Siro, it's definitely one of the homes of soccer or football, as you would call it. And I think that, renovating it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think making it more modern is definitely a target that Milan could go after, because I think it's, as I said, it's one of the homes of, the beautiful game that we love to watch. So I think that it wouldn't be a bad option to do so. I would prefer that we make a new stadium. Obviously, 60,000 seats would be a good fit for Milan should they end up reaching Europe. I think we could fill that if they do, start giving things to the fans that they actually will come to watch for games. But that could be huge, but it would be if Inter were to leave the San Siro that they would be making this new stadium. Now, talking on the market, they have said that there's a lot of, iffy situations as Milan isn't in Europe. And obviously, Montella isn't this big-name coach where he can make all these huge promises to players and convince them to come to the club like you see in the Premier League, for example. But they will be targeting, top players who are young, have potential and ambition, and that fit Montella's system. So I think that is big for Milan. Obviously, you can't be expecting players that have been mentioned previously, like Fabregas, like Isco, but those players aren't really willing to, join clubs that don't have Europe. I think that's pretty understandable. But regardless, I think Milan could do with this man. I'm just putting it out there. I think Milan could use Flamini. He would be a great ambassador of the club. I think that he could represent the fundamentals of the game and, fair play. He just, you think of Matteo Flamini, you think of fair play. So I think, bringing him in, not a bad idea, right? I don't know. Leave your comments down below if you think Milan should bring Matteo Flamini. Personally, I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world. I think he trumps the likes of Verratti, the likes of Iniesta, the likes of Sergio Busquets. I think, Flamini's up there as one of the greatest ever. Anyways, let's forget about that. It's a very touchy subject. But anyways, yes, as I said, the transfer market may be iffy. But leave down below your comments with what you think all about that. Do you want the San Siro to be renovated, or would you rather a completely new stadium? How do you feel about this economic boost that Milan are going after, and do you think it can benefit the club going forward? Personally, I think so, but leave down below what you think. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe to Rossoneri TV. We are borderline 10,000 subscribers. That is freaking massive. If we can reach 10,000 subscribers, that would be huge. I just want to thank you guys personally. If you ask me, this channel is giving me a platform to express my views and beliefs on AC Milan, obviously the beloved club. And I thank you guys for tuning in, week out, and listening to me babble about things that don't make much sense, like your boy, Matthew Flamini. But anyways, it has been Adamo from Rossoneri TV, and as always, Forza Milan.